Uma Kannan, Mallika Srinivasan, the principal Sri Pandiraja, and Sri Hari Thiagarajan, and the eminent gathering before me. I feel honored to be here this evening to participate in this function. I had the opportunity to have a look at the book pre-release. It was very well explained by Dr. Uma. Am I right? No, your Sandhya, Dr. Sandhya, looked at what actually is in the book. I did spend some time on the book. Whilst the presentation about what is in the book was matter of fact, and it is actually a rich compendium of everything to do with this great institution marking the 75th year. But what I find attractive about the book is that it has intertwined great personalities with the growth of a great institution. It's not always that any institution has that fortune. Thiagarajar College has that fortune. In passing, or as a matter of a serious observation of the book, it was observed that late Sri Karmuthu Thiagarajan Chettiar had the opportunity to go to Cambridge, have a look at the institutions there, went to Shantiniketan, was very inspired and motivated on the positive side, and on the other side, that he couldn't have the opportunity to do higher education. And therefore, but the fact which comes out there is the vision, his aesthetics. I mean, just imagine then, Cambridge University with a riverfront. He imagines for Madurai a similar situation with, on the rear side, the Vaigai, and on the front, even as I entered now, I was telling the person who was sitting next to me, just imagine the mind picture of this person who was able to transfix what he saw in Cambridge onto Madurai, and just didn't leave it there, but did it here. Institutions have their own lives. 75 is not a number. It's so infused with the dream of a person, and a dream which is articulated as well. He's not saying, with the benefit of hindsight, yes, I also saw it in Shantiniketan, I also saw it in Cambridge. He saw it, he came and did that here. And it is growing, and growing how? So that's where Thiagarajan group of institutions, I would think, is so fortunate to have such a dreamer, but who also executed his dream. So I think Madurai stands to benefit from such visionaries, and a vision that seems to be nurtured by the family. Nurtured by the family, respecting that vision. I mean, someone who did not have the opportunity for higher education did not become a pessimist. He didn't accuse the society for saying, oh no, look, I didn't have higher education. Oh no, look how unfortunate I was. No. He looked at ways in which he could offer that to every young man and woman who would want to do it. So it's one thing to feel hurt by not having an opportunity, but to transfer that, to convert that into an opportunity to provide that missed opportunity for himself, for the rest of all the youth, for generations to come, is what makes a great institution. I'm also happy the progress which is being made in the current environment, with the rankings being improved, about which young Sri Hari Thiagarajan can feel immensely proud that he's going to have to work in that kind of an environment. I can't miss but saying, of course, there's been an opportunity earlier, even as Mr. Kannan was alive, when he was introduced, young Karmuthu Hari Thiagarajan. But I can't miss sitting here on the dais that he's so like his father. I wish he was just an inch more taller. He would be exactly same like his father. I'm sure, therefore, that that spirit of the family to offer more to the society, which has given them the place of respect and honor, continues with him, and it is for all of us to work for such institutions, for them to grow and be nurtured, showcase the excellence that they have. And as was mentioned, the visitors' book, the vignettes of pictures, remarkably align with Free India post-47. Every leader who had anything to do with education or knowledge felt that they should be in this college at least for one occasion. Every leader in that generation who thought that societies will have to be built with people around, with people in private sector, saw the importance of this institution, and they were here to be participant. The kind of handwritten note which I saw of Sri Kamaraj was so very touching. The immense contribution again that Kamaraj made to primary education in this country for somebody who had dropped out of primary school. Here is the founder of this institution who could not have higher education but who founded a college. And such great stalwarts have all been here. The association, such association also adds great flavor to the institution. On a personal note, I have a very strong memory of a member of my family who's alive, who's close to 90, who almost every time we have a chat recalls this one incident in his life and strangely relates to the founder of this institution. He had then joined Bank of Madurai as a young man, just having finished his BCom. And there was this famous visit of Sri T.A. Pai, who's the founder of the Syndicate Bank, which has now become part of the Canara Bank, and who had come to Madurai probably to see if there's any opportunity to understand how Bank of Madurai works. And he was asked to escort, as an employee of Bank of Madurai, he was asked to escort T.A. Pai around. And there was some draft of a note which had to be prepared. He had prepared it, but he had to come with a sense of caution and fear inside him to consult and take inputs into that little note from Sri late Karmuthu Thiagarajan himself. He was, in a way, a bit hesitant as a young man who's just finished his college working in Bank of Madurai, but what would it be? That experience, which he says, will be very useful for all of us to pay homage to such a great man. So he was called into probably his library where he was seated, and he would go in and show him the draft note, and he saw it and then said, but this line should have been written in a different way or something of that kind, and said, I'll tell you why, and said, just go onto the third shelf in that row, from top the fourth whatever shelf, pick up the seventh book or something of that kind, to that specific extent. And he went, picked up, being sure of the number of shelves, he counted number of, and picked up that book and came and gave the book, and he said, yes, now open up page 32, something like that, page 27. And he said, read the third paragraph. And he read. It was appropriately that paragraph. If he had known earlier, read earlier, he would have drafted it better. And he said, I was shocked to know the memory, the knowledge, and even the sequence with which the books were arranged in his library. And he was able to confidently say, get that book, read that paragraph from that page. He said it was one amazing experience for a young man like me. This observation about Sri late Karmuthu Thiagarajan, the founder of this institution, the man who dreamt about creating somewhat the aesthetics of Cambridge in Madurai, and who's created it. And he was so selfless not to take that palace of Ramnath Raja, but he thought he should be given to the college. And that wealth of knowledge that he had, that he could do this with confidence without making the young man feel nervous. Of course, he did feel nervous, but he got the book and was astounded at this personality. So his love for education, his desire to provide quality education, was all so much in every one of the cells of his body. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been possible to have an experience of that kind with that great individual who's the founder of this institution. Without taking more of your time, I'm indeed honored and have a little personal, as I narrated, that little episode which has lived with me for a very long time. And I take this opportunity to narrate it before you about your founder institution. It's like in Telugu, they have a little proverb which would say, many of you all do probably understand, Puttintiki velli mama katha cheppava. You go to your birth, house of your birth, பிறந்த வீட்டுக்கு போய் உன் மாமன் தாய் மாமனின் கதையை சொன்னையா அப்படின்னு கேட்பாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி தியாகராஜர் காலேஜில் வந்து ஸ்ரீ லேட் கர்முத்து தியாகராஜன்ஜியை பற்றி நான் சொன்னேன்னா அது கொஞ்சம் சரியாக இருக்காது. ஆனால் அந்த எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் அப்பேற்பட்டது. அது எனக்கு அவர் சொல்லி எங்கள் தாய்மாமன் சொல்லி எனக்கு அபவுட் திஸ் கிரேட் ஃபவுண்டர் ஆஃப் திஸ் கிரேட் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் மனசில் எப்போதும் இருந்திருக்கு. அதை இன்னைக்கு சொல்கிறதுக்கான ஒரு வாய்ப்பும் கிடைச்சது. அதுக்கு மிக்க நன்றி. இந்த இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் இன்னும் பல 75 ஆண்டுகளை கொண்டாடணும்னு இறைவனை வாழ்த்து பிரார்த்திச்சு உங்கள் நன்றி சொல்கிறேன். தேங்க்யூ.
Thank you, madam, for your powerful words of wisdom.